if you looked at the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even part of the 80s, the United States behaved in a way in which we could reasonably conclude that it was not comfortable with our development and rise. So, I mean, people often would attribute it to the conflicts, where were they in Kashmir on 48? How did they behave in the 65 conflict with Pakistan? 71 in Bangladesh. Which Indian doesn't remember it? So those are all there. Okay, and then the fact that they were particularly close at that time with China and Pakistan. And I've actually said, to me, that period, that the 1970s were really the dangerous decades, because the term dangerous decades was used by Selig Harrison in a book to describe India domestically. But if you looked at it from a foreign policy angle, when US, China, Pakistan came together, it was actually a very serious challenge for us, and we, of course, responded to it. So I think that, to some degree, colors people's imagery, perception, narrative. Now, the irony is, during the same period, actually, the United States also did a lot of things in our support. The United States helped us after 1962. I remind people we actually had a defense agreement with them in 1964. The United States, actually, if you look back at history and read some very good accounts of that period, they had a big role to do not just agriculture. Of course, everybody knows Green Revolution. Space program. Yeah. The space program, the Thor rockets, the first nuclear reactor, your fertilizer plants, your hydel projects, your canals, many of your institutions, your higher education institution. So it was all there. But I would say you might say the traumatic moments were a stronger memory. But there's a second factor, and I've addressed that. See, there's also an elite attitude problem. Okay, so a lot of this this suspicion of America is very much a Lutyens' Delhi problem. I point out that if you ask the Indian street actually realized the value of the American relationship much earlier than Lutyens' Delhi did. And part of it is, people here make it out as though it's very nationalistic. Frankly, they had a kind of what I would say is a kind of a London School of Economics outlook to the world.